What up, though? I put it out there, I'm saying on Facebook, and I asked people to, comment with topics and things that they would like to dialogue about, you know what I'm saying? And I'm simply doing this to promote this discussion and to promote dialogue about different views and about different topics. I want to hear your views and I want to express my views. And as long as we operate under the premise of respect, then no topic should be taboo. We should be able to dialogue as intellectuals about anything. And I received a comment today that I would like to address. And the sister said, she said, how do I feel about protesting? What do I feel protests have a place in the movement? And, she said, we've been protesting for over 50 years now. And, things haven't really changed. So what do I feel about protesting? And she also asked another part that I'm going to address in a second. Now, as far as the protesting, yes, I do believe protesting has a place in the movement. It definitely has a place in the fight. But the problem lies when people believe that the protest alone is the answer or the solution, and it's not. No justice, no peace is not just a catchy slogan. No justice, no peace is a battle cry. It's a promise that if we do not receive justice, if this particular group feel that they're being treated unjustly, then there will be no peace in the streets. We will not operate under the status quo. So everyday life cannot go on while these atrocities are being committed. And this is what protests do. They let people know, they let a particular group of people know that we're unhappy right now. This cannot continue to go on. So, and we have many examples. Take Baltimore for example. You know what I'm saying? When Freddie Gray was murdered, the people of Baltimore let the city of Baltimore know that they were unhappy about that. The same thing happened in Ferguson. I drove all the way to Washington D.C. to participate in a protest about Eric Garner when the NYPD killed Eric Garner, and protests have gone on all throughout history. There are many examples of people protesting things, and people creating environments of civil unrest and civil disobedience to let the government or the powers that be know that this cannot continue. But like I said, you cannot look at the protest as the answer. That's only the beginning. Now we have your attention. We're protesting. We're shutting down freeways. We're marching in the streets. We're shutting down stores. People are going to be late for work. People are going to be late getting home to their wives or their husband. And now the conversation is being had. Oh, well, why were you late? Oh, well, those people were outside protesting. And the national news media comes in, NBC and, CNN and Fox News. But they come and, they let people know the people in this particular area are unhappy about what just happened, about what just transpired. So the protest definitely has a place, but you can't stop at the protest. And that's where the issue lies. People think, oh, I'm just going to beat my feet in the streets and that's going to be it. No, that's just to simply bring two parties to the table, so now we can create a dialogue and now we can move forward. Okay, this was the injustice that happened. This can't happen again. What laws do we have to enact? Who has to be held accountable? What can we do to move forward and to get past this particular issue? That's why we protest. That's why people protest. I'm just letting y'all know that this shit ain't gonna keep going on. That's all the protest is for. And, this is why it's in the Bill of Rights. We have the right to assemble. You know what I'm saying? You can look back as far in history as, the one that we all learned about in school, the Boston Tea Party. Well, the Boston Tea Party was a protest. They were letting the people in Great Britain, the kings and the queens and whoever the powers were over there, that they were unhappy about these taxes. So you're going to tax all of our, overtax our commerce, so now we can't even get a fair shake. So we're just going to throw all this motherfucking tea in the river. That's what we're going to do. We're going to protest. We're going to let you know that we're unhappy about this shit. Did the protest itself end the taxation? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The Revolutionary War ended the taxation. A war was the answer. A protest was to just bring our issues to the table. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to, necessarily go to war, but some people feel that way, that that's what's needed, and that's their view, that's their opinion. I'm just saying, I understand the protest mentality. I understand why they do it. I understand why it's done. And the people who criticize the protests, those are the people that I don't understand. I don't understand someone who will criticize a person for being unhappy about an injustice. That makes absolutely no sense to me. Now, as far as her second part, she said, well, what is the answer for the black community? What is the answer? What is the solution? And that's a very, very broad topic, because there's an amalgamation of problems. We have a huge conglomerate of problems. So there is no magic wand we can wave and we can fix one thing and we say, okay, the black community's fine now. We have so many problems and they're so vast that there are many proposed solutions to our plight. And it really depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking to Dr. Umar Johnson, he's going to tell you it's Pan-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to Africa. Let's establish our own governments. If you talk to Minister Farrakhan, he's going to tell you separation. You know what I'm saying? Let's get our own land. Let's grow our own food. Let's produce our own products. Let's have our own economy. So it really just depends on who you're talking about, who you're talking to, and what particular problem you're trying to address. There's some people who talks about the family structure. You know what I'm saying? If we can fix the family structure, we'll be okay. There's some people who talk about economics. If we can get our own economic base, if we can produce goods and provide services, then we'll be fine. I personally believe that it starts with the collective mindset. And what I mean by a collective mindset is I cannot only be worried about Tarek. I can't. I have to be worried about everybody who looks like me. I cannot just think about me, my bills, my plight, and my children. I have to think about your bills. I have to think about your children. I have to think about your plight. So if we can operate as a unit instead of individuals, then I think we'll be okay. Because if we're operating as a unit, then I won't do harm to you. I won't rob you. I won't murder you. I won't do these type of things to you, because I'm not just thinking about myself. I'm thinking about you as well. And this is the mindset of a lot of other races of people, a lot of other nationalities. They have a collective mindset. They operate as a unit. If you go to New York, you're gonna run across Chinatown. You're not gonna put a black store in Chinatown, because it's Chinatown. It's for them. They have a huge Chinatown in Seattle. If you go to Pennsylvania, you're gonna see the Amish country. If you come to Detroit, you're gonna see a huge Arab population in Dearborn, and that's their area. But we as black people, we're all over the country. But we don't operate under the collective. We don't have a collective mindset. So if we can start thinking not only about ourselves, our wants, our desires, and our plight, we have to think about each other. And I believe it was Frederick Douglass who said it's easier to build strong boys than to repair broken men. So we have to start with the children, because a lot of grown-ups, a lot of adult blacks are just too set in their ways. So, everybody knows the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So it's hard to teach a fully grown, seasoned man to have a collective mindset. This has to be instilled in a child from birth so he can be trained to grow up this way. To not only think about himself, to not only be an individual, but to think about the collective. Okay, what can I do with my life that will better my community? And if we can operate under that premise, with instilling that into our children, then the next generation and following generations can prosper where we didn't. And this is just my take. Like I said, agree, disagree, comment, share. It doesn't matter. I'm here for the dialogue, and that's my portion. Peace.